In this video, we're going to wire up the Cruze on the FT550, do a first start, and take it for its first drive. Let's go. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I'm Matt. Let's go ahead and wire in the FT550, the FuelTech, into the Cruze 1.8 liter project and get this thing going. So we got our battery and our box all pulled out. Here is the two-step that I had hooked up to it before, which I'll have to reconnect those wires. We got this crappy stock wire protectant off. Quite a bit of it was this, which was very brittle. But we'll just pull from here somewhere, possibly a little bit further back so we can kind of hide it. I've got my coolant reservoir out of the way, and all of my stuff has been coming in right back here through this boot. And we'll just use these wires to pull the FuelTech wiring through the firewall, wire each system up at a time, test it. Then once we're all finished, we'll pull everything we have wired up and we'll properly dress it up, make it look like a nice harness, get this thing looking pretty close to stock. It's gonna be a lot of work, but let's get after it. Well, I got a lot done. It's getting dark. Let me show you what I've got done so far. So I've got the fuel injection wired, the ignition coils. This is the crank trigger and starter. I'm using these Deutsch connectors, so if I need to move pins around, it's real easy. Even if down the line I want to put these all in the one harness, I can, because these are really simple to take apart. I had just ended up getting a kit with a bunch of them. Currently working on the throttle body. I've got everything pulled from the ECU, but everything from the diagrams that I pulled online, everything's matching up great. All three of these right here are the signals out for intake air temp, oil pressure, engine coolant temp. So I have all three of those on one. So I need to get the throttle done. We'll need to hook up the power. At this point with the throttle, we're going to start working with the other harness. Right now, most of it's been on harness A, and I had thought about pulling this through the firewall, but I'd have to pull it back out to dress this whole thing up. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to make this look really nice, and we'll dress all this stuff up once we're finished fussing with it. As far as hooking everything up goes, I'm about 65–70% of the way there. So I think tomorrow I'll have all the wiring finished, and then we can put power to the FuelTech. We'll test things and we'll see how it goes, but we'll pick this up tomorrow. Well, it is the next morning. It is nippy, but let's get after this, get closer to completing it. Hopefully within the next few hours, we'll be able to turn the thing over, see if we're getting crank signal, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's go. Ooh-wee, pick it up. Where we left off, jeez. Well, it looks like a rat's nest right about now, but it's an organized mess, kind of. Because one wiring loom isn't enough, let's toss another one into the equation. Golly. Do you have to come over here and pee in my car while I'm working on it? Apollo's over here keeping it real. He had to come over here and pee on my car while I'm working on it and knock the camera all over the place. Then I wonder why this hubcap looks like crap. Oh well. I have most everything wired up. Batteries back in. Got the stock ECU back in. Just kind of have the wiring harness thrown over the side of the car instead of shoving it through the firewall just yet. There's the FuelTech. Let's go ahead and turn the key on and hopefully nothing fries. All right. TPS not calibrated. Do you want to calibrate? Yes. Throttle's down. Let's see. Calibrating. Okay, well, that was easy. TPS, or excuse me, the electronic throttle is done. I should probably grab the laptop and tinker with that stuff, and we'll start messing with the fuel injection and all that fun stuff. Ignition, we'll see what it's all reading at this point. Yes. Oh, we can't forget his friend. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can set some stuff up and bump the starter, I guess. Oh no! Engine power reduced! No more! Okay, let's see if I wired this right. Let's try the starter. Huh. Okay. Let's try it here. Start going down the list and trying some of these things. I'm sure you guys have got a glare here. Here's an engine starter. Nothing. Let's try the fan. I hear a relay clicking, but nothing going on. Let's try ignition number 1, 2. Not really sure we're going to be able to hear anything there. Not hearing any click out of the VVT. Okay, we can hear the throttle motor going. So that's good. So no fan. Let's try fuel injector 1. Okay, I hear the fuel injectors going. Very faint. See if you can hear it. Now, since we sprayed some fuel in there, let's see if we get any pops or bangs. Huh. Okay, I think I know what it is. I have to undo this watt box because that's coming into here. Okay, injectors are working, throttle body's working. We are getting readouts for the temp, but it's like really high. The intake air temp is reading correctly. Can't really tell you about oil pressure just yet because we haven't cranked the engine. Oh, engine coolant temp. That one was, so this thing's a little goofy. There are 2 engine coolant temperature sensors, but one of them's reading 130 something, so, or at least what I have wired up in the car. So I'll have to sort that out. I mean, we're getting fuel pressure, which I haven't touched that just yet, just letting the car handle that just for the second. The starter, need to figure that out. Then we can figure out whether or not the crank position sensor is set correctly, along with the cams. We can calibrate all that, but I'm thinking I may just have to go to the relay box here instead for the starter. Something tells me there's probably something going on here with the ECU that I don't know. So let's do the hardwired path and wire the starter to basically have the FuelTech kick on the relay to get the starter going. It's a start. I was hoping that would have just been super simple, but not that this is much more simple. I just have to move some things around, I guess, now. Okay, back to the drawing board just a little bit, and I'll report back here soon. It is yet another day we are working on this wiring harness. I know it may look like a mess, but it is an organized mess, and we're going to continue organizing and making this thing look nice. Here are some sections that I did while the harness was in the car. So we'll get everything all separated, all nice and neat with this braided cover insulation, whatever you want to call it. And with all these extra wires, I may try just to unpin it, just to make the wiring loom less thick so it'll be easier to pass through the firewall. So let's get after it and get even closer to finishing this thing up so we can go ahead and have some fun with the car. Let's go.
3 hours later.
Well, ladies and gents, after hours upon hours of working with this wiring harness, we have something organized, clean, ready to install in the car. Let's check it out. To the FuelTech, we have our A and B connectors. Wish I would have made this a little cleaner, but whatever. Just kind of cut it a little short here, but that's fine. At the moment, it just has that kind of wire organizer on it. which I'm glad I did it this way and didn't do a heat shrink of some sorts, because I've undone this at least 2 or 3 times to fix something because I forgot something. Like, for example, this little harness here goes to the fuel pressure sensor as well as the fuel level sensor. Need to order some more 4-pin connectors. That's all I had, but it will work. So this will run inside the interior of the car. This pins over to this signal here. This goes to the boost controller. This goes to absolutely nothing. I have no idea why FuelTech thinks it's a great idea to have the gear sensor wired in for every single one of them. So this actually took up some slots. Oh, and I unpin all the crap that I don't necessarily need. So we got that out the way, cleaned it up quite a bit. We go through the firewall right about here. This will go to the battery, key on, key off kind of thing. This is a ground that goes to the strut tower, crank position signal. We got our fuel injectors, another power signal. So those two will go to the other side of the relay once it kicks on. We've got our flex fuel sensor all done up. These are some of my other items like air intake temperature, coolant temperature sensor, I think oil pressure as well. So those 3 sensors there. Got a ground. This is from the flex fuel. Then this 6-pin deal is for the throttle body. This is for our coils. And this is the VVT and camshaft position sensor stuff there. Now I'll just need to pull these through the firewall somehow. It's dark, but we'll get on that tomorrow and keep working on it. See you then. Come on, damn it. It is yet another day. I'm working with the FuelTech, getting a hold of customer service. We've got our crankshaft reading, the position sensor. Now I'm working on getting it to read the camshaft position sensor. So that way the ECU sees that it has RPM and we'll try and crank it up for a little bit. Hopefully we can set our timing. I'm kind of short on time today, able to work on this thing on and off, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this thing doesn't die. Let's see. Oof. Try going the other way.
Do you hear me over here like I know what I'm talking about? Did you hear what I said, Cookie?
Oh yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, it needs a fuel filter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you done got some trash in there.
Could be. Almost there. Let's crank up. Hopefully my battery doesn't die before then. Oh, it's so close to starting and so close to dying too. Hey, first crank. Oh no! Shit. We're so close to getting this started. I pulled the battery from my daily driver. So let's see if we can get it started. See if we can't get this thing popping off. What? Ding! Almost. idea. I can't get this thing to idle. Nope. Oh, come on. You were working. Whoa. After getting the car to start up for the first time, I buttoned up the wiring. I installed a flex fuel sensor, which I still need to secure, but I set the engine to top dead center and marked off the timing marks. I was able to use a timing light since I do have LS coils on the car, and I proceeded to set the timing using the offset built into FuelTech, which was pretty simple. I just had my 10-year-old son hit some buttons and told him when to stop.
All right, go ahead. Okay, keep going. Stop. Stop.
You can see the timing marks right there that I had marked off with some of my mom's fingernail polish. Once that was all set, just went ahead and hit OK. Timing was set to top dead center at 0 degrees. Then I started working on the fuel pump. I did have my old fuel pump to work with, to wire into, to read the voltage. So I went ahead and set the voltage from 0 gallons all the way up to 15.56. Next, it was time to wire in an oil pressure sensor, which you can see here, it's not reading oil pressure. So we got a cheap Amazon 150 PSI oil pressure sensor, wired that in, and then we were off to the races. All right, let's take this thing for its first drive. I need to put some gas in it. We'll go find some E85. I do have it on flex fuel now, so I can put whatever gas in it really, but we want that E85. Let's go. Don't even have to touch the throttle. All right. Well, I need to. So I got the O2 corrections on. Heavy enough to catch everything, but we'll see how she does. Well, we got our first little mishap here. This seems like this came undone. All right, let's see if that fixes it. Not even that damn far down the street. Okay, that seems to have solved it. I think. Good times. There we go. That was fun. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to secure those relays a little better. One of those damn relays came undone. Exciting times. Well, nothing like getting stuck in traffic on a first test drive. I'm just trying to, probably should have just went to the regular gas station and just put some 93 in it, but we got about 2.5 gallons left. I think we should make it. Well, that was interesting. I need to dial the idle in some more. Car died on me. Took a minute to get it started, but ECU saying 1.4 gallons left. And if I did my math correctly, online it says it's a 15.6 gallon tank. Let's see. Well, I guess that math's out correct. See what my ECU says here. I got this warning on that doesn't need to be orange. We'll have to fix that. We'll make that green. No, the settings are in there somewhere. Now we need to get this cold start dialed in because it's just... being a pain in the neck. Air intake temps are reading a little high, so let's get this thing moving a little bit. Let's do a little bit of a pull, a little something. Well, that'll about do it for this video. I'm very happy with the way the car is running. In the next video, we'll work on tuning the car some more, testing two-step, and then afterwards, we'll take it to the dyno. Not next video, but we'll schedule something. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.